the button now. We're live. I just pressed the button now. I used to put a whole lot of thought into it. Like, oh, we're doing it. We're live. 365 Live. That is the assignment. I'm your host, Pamela Denise. Welcome to my channel. Today is day 24. Oh, I need to take a deep breath. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm documenting my journey. I don't have notes, so I don't necessarily need glasses. I'm not going to be reading. But I'm on a journey. I'm documenting my life in between a wilderness season and the promise. That's what it is. And I've been assigned to document, and I'm thankful so I can go back because there's a lot that I'm learning. So I started out sharing time I got, what I eat, because I'm documenting, right? Each day is going to be different. Today, I actually gave this video a title. It's called Boundaries versus Capacity, because we live in a day that everybody's setting boundaries, right? And it is important, this is the language that we use. It is important that we protect our boundaries. You set the boundaries and you protect the boundary. A boundary is a line. And I'm going to read something to you. I'm going to read the definition of a boundary because I thought about this today because I was confronted with a situation. It wasn't necessarily a confrontation, but I had a situation that there was once a boundary there, but now there's no boundary. There is just the capacity that I have within myself. But a boundary is a real or imaginary point beyond which a person or thing cannot go. I mean, there's a line drawn. There's a line in the sand and you cannot cross this, right? But capacity is legal competency or fitness, or it is the maximum amount or number that can be contained or accommodated, how much you can hold. And lastly, an individual's mental or physical ability. That's capacity. And a boundary is a real or imaginary point. So today, about 3 o'clock, today, 3 o'clock in the morning, my grandbaby's parents came to my house. My son had stayed the weekend with me with his daughter, and they hung out yesterday. And 3 o'clock in the morning, I heard my door chime, and they were coming in the house. I didn't know both of them were together. I didn't really know what was going on, but I know this. I know that when my son, because my son has not lived with me in a couple of years, but when he did live with me, I had a boundary, and the boundary was, don't come in this house past a certain time, because I wake up early in the morning, and I don't want. And sometimes you never know when something wakes you up if it's gonna keep you up for a long time. So I'm like, don't come in here past a certain time because I don't want to be sleepy in the morning. Like, I like to ease into my morning and spend my time with the Lord and get my day started. And my life was changing. So all my time is valuable. Time is valuable. But now what happened was when they came in the house this morning, now my grandbaby was here. That's why they came here, because their child was here. But when they showed up here, the baby was here and she had school this morning. And what's interesting is I got up at the time that I'm scheduled to get up. 5 o'clock is my wake up time. And if you follow me on this journey for the past couple of weeks, I have been struggling to get back to that 5 o'clock time. I had to make some adjustments last week. I've been adjusting so that I can go to bed by 9-ish and wake up by 5. But I did it. And today, I did it last week. I hit the target. But today, I was like, Monday, I'm going to be on point. So I did. I got up I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning because I heard, but I was able to go right back to sleep. So my sleep was not really interrupted, but I was able to duly note. I made a mental note. I got up at my regular time, 5 o'clock. I rolled over, touched the phone. It was 5 o'clock. I was like, whoa, we are doing this today. I felt good. I laid there, I took a couple deep breaths to talk to the Lord. I got ready to listen to my playlist, but I'm like, you know what? I can listen to it on my way downstairs so I can get this day in gear. And I made a mental note that my grandbaby's still here and the parents didn't get in till 3 o'clock this morning. So I knew that I was going to step in, right? Not have to. I was going to step in because it's my grandbaby and that's what grandparents do. And so when I got up, I spent my time, and then about 6:20ish, I had already read a little bit Old New Testament. I was leaning into my morning. It was comfortable. Again, there was a boundary at one time in my life where don't even come to my house a time of day. So there would have been tension. There's tension around this boundary, right? You can't cross this line. But today, I wanted to fuss a little bit because I just wanted to. Not that I just want to be fussing, but I just wanted to tell them, listen, y'all baby here and y'all getting here at 3 o'clock in the morning and all this stuff. But I took some deep breaths. I spent some time with the Lord, and that kind of that energy left me. And then when I heard her moving around this morning, I was gonna get it, but I said, no, I'm gonna keep hands off because both of her parents are here, and that never happens. So they'll figure it out. But about 6:20 or so, she came walking down the stairs. She just walking down the stairs, and so I'm like, oh, you ready? Okay, well, come on, let's do our thing. Let's go get on the potty. And so we had some time. I recited my covenant to her. That's something that we always do. I created this crown covenant, and I speak it to her over her life every time she's here because I want her to know early who she is. I didn't learn who I was till I was 50. Like I had an idea. I knew that God loved me, but it's not about me. This is about my grandbaby. I want her to know early who she is. So I recite this covenant over. So I did that, and then we went to the potty. We spent a little time together. I had prepared her. I had prepared her something to eat and got her ready. So the the moral of this story is, I know I'm flattering over, but the moral of the story is, as I was before she came downstairs, I was thinking about I wanted to be upset. I wanted to feel a certain way, but the truth is, I have it within me to be able to give her something today. Even though I wanted to fuss because what y'all doing coming in at 3 o'clock in the morning? What are y'all doing? All the things. I walked past, like it was just like, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't bad. I had my mind set on how my morning was gonna go. But the truth is my morning still went the way that it was supposed to. And I had the capacity, because this is the question that I had to ask myself. Should I be concerned about a boundary, or should I reach within myself and say, do you have it within you to give a little extra love in this moment, a little extra grace in this moment, a little extra energy, time in this moment? Do you have it within you? Because if you don't have it within you, then you need to set a boundary. But the objective for me is to have more in me to give. There's a lot that God promised me. There's a lot that I'm going to be required to do. And so as I'm making these adjustments, like over the past couple of weeks, I have been making a lot of adjustments. I've added new things to my life. Me and my sister are talking more, and that's a lot. And made a couple new friends. And so I'm being stretched a little bit, but I'm trying to see, like, it's easy to say that you can use all these tools, or you have all these tools to use when you're not having to use them. But when new things are added to the mix, because I have a very structured life, and when new things are added to the mix, like my default would be to, I don't have room because my life is set up this way. But if I'm asking God to do more things in my life, if I'm expecting Him to take me to new places and to higher places, now is the time. In this documentation journey, I'm realizing now is the time to see how far I can stretch, and if I can stretch a little bit more, make some adjustments, maybe cut some things off, add some things, but expand my capacity, because I don't want to have to set rules for other people outside of myself that they can't cross these lines. I want to be able to, for my capacity to be, whereas I can expand a little bit and give a little bit more love, and give a little bit more grace, and give a little bit more time, and give a little bit more energy. Not concerned if somebody's going to hurt me, or if somebody's going to do something wrong that I need to set up a boundary and that they can't cross anymore. I hope this is gelling, because my life is my responsibility. And fear, there is no fear in love. And I am created in the image and likeness of God. We are created in the image and likeness of God. God is love, and there is no fear in God. And when we begin to use that language, I believe it's the language that bothers me the most. Like, I got strong boundaries, and there was a time I'd be like, I do have strong boundaries, and I had to until my capacity increased. Now that my capacity is increased, I can loosen my boundaries because even there was a time I go for walks and ride my bike. But when I ride my bike, I'm definitely not answering my phone. When I go for walks, my rule of thumb was, which is a boundary, that I don't answer my phone when I'm out on my walk because I'm out there walking with God. I'm talking with God and clearing my mind. I'm grounded, listening to the birds and nature, that type of thing. And so when somebody calls me, um, I just don't want that energy out there. I want to be able to enjoy and listen to myself, listen to the Lord, listen to the nature, right? And so my rule is I don't answer my phone, but I answer my phone about 2 weeks ago because I have more capacity. My son called me. We were working on a couple things, and he called me, so I answered his call, and I'm like, hey son, do you come in peace because of the things that we're working on? Like he's a little younger, and he doesn't manage his emotions real well all the time. He's getting there though. He is getting there. But I just didn't know. And so I know how to have a conversation with him. So I said, hey, do you come in peace? He said, what do you mean? I'm like, do you come in peace? I'm out on my walk and I don't want anything to affect my peace. So do you come in peace? So that was just giving him the warning. Listen, I'll talk to you, but it's got to be peaceful. It can't be no rah rah, right? And so he was like, I would. At first he got ready to rah rah. He's like, well, what you mean? And he said, you know what? Go ahead, finish your walk, and then call me when you're done. I'm like, you sure? If it's pressing, I got capacity. I got range. I could talk to you now. He was like, no, go for your walk, enjoy your walk, and then call me when you're done. I was thankful for that because at one time that was a boundary. And because there was a boundary, he know how not to cross me in that area because I had the capacity to open up myself in a time that I normally don't open up myself to. Like when I'm out for my walk, I had it in me. I'm like, listen, and I just used a different language. So with that being said, in this episode today, that was very, very prevalent to me. And it's a conversation that I think that I want to have more of because boundaries divide us. It sets a line, even property lines. My neighbors, there are no fences between our yards. And so, but you can tell where our property line ends and begins because the color of the grass. Like I will cut up to a certain point and then my neighbor will cut up to a certain point. And so there is definitely a differentiator in my mind, in my spirit, in my soul, in my entire being. I want to live in a place, spiritually, mentally, and physically, where there is community, where there is a real village, where there is compassion and caring, and there is more than enough. If I have plenty and you are lacking, then I would want to be able to give to the one that is lacking because that is what community does. In community, that is like a place where there are no boundaries, where there are no lines. There is just love, compassion, and a lot of capacity for engagement with each other. We've been brainwashed to look out for ourselves. I remember somebody used to say in the past, like us four and no more. We've been brainwashed and conditioned to only care for our home and our people within our home, not necessarily our neighbors. But if our neighbor is struggling and more neighbors are struggling, then we're all struggling. That's the truth. So that's my documentation for today. I'm getting clearer about boundaries and capacity because as I'm interacting with more people now, um, I want to be cognizant of the terminology that I use. That I'm not just setting a boundary for you not to cross me. No, I want to expand my capacity so that I can deal with you the way that you were meant to be dealt with in my life. Because sometimes, because our capacity is not where it should be, Relationships that were intended to be more didn't go as far as they were supposed to because we didn't have it within us. We got to work on us, y'all. That's the bottom line. We got to work on us. We got to get stronger spiritually. We got to get more mentally sound. We have to cut out a lot of the crap out of our out of our thought process, because as a man thinks, the things that we watch, the things that we listen to, they affect us in a major way. And I know it to be true because I tested my capacity over the past few weeks. I knew that I didn't necessarily have the time to communicate as much as I had been communicating. It's a flying thing. It's on German crazy. But I knew that I didn't have the time to communicate as much as I've been communicating. But I said that I don't want to just shut it down and be like, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. No, stretch my capacity. Let me see how much time I can make. Right? Let me see how much time I can make. And I did. And I saw how much time I can make. I saw what was comfortable for me. I stretched myself till I got a little bit uncomfortable. And this week I said I'm gonna shift and do something a little bit different because how you manage your time is important. Like, time is one of the greatest commodities like you'll ever get. You once it's gone, you can never get it back. You can never get it back. So how I spend my time is important. And for that reason, I make sure that I stretch my capacity in order to spend the time that I want to and need to spend with the people that are most important to me. Because ultimately, everything that I'm doing, I say this over and over again, I do it for not just my family, not just my generation, but for generations to come. So we're going to see what that looks like. This is my documentation, day 24. And if the Lord says the same, I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, peace, be multiplied. Thank you for joining.